Hey everyone, you're here with Mark Boutwell, Grow Coach here at PerfectGardens.com. Our mission every day is to help you grow while making decisions in line with our values. Hey everyone, got another great question for talking about the Fox Farm line. Let me scroll down. It says, I love the video, but we went through it a little too quickly. He's brand new to the product line. He burned his seedlings and he was just asking for a little more guidance. Not a problem, man. We've all burned the seeds using the Fox Farm line. It is what it is. The Fox Farm, they give you a little insight into this industry. Been part of it for a long time. Fox Farm actually just recently changed their fertilizer. They were using a dry fertilizer and mixed it in with their soil, and then now they are putting on a spray-on fertilizer, and it's a very quick release versus a slow release for the Fox Farm line. So right here, they're going to recommend to put your seedlings and transplanting directly into ocean forest, and and then there's a few other little insights that they don't kind of really tell people is that when they're watering their plants with their soil, they actually give RO water. Reverse also, they start with RO water and then they add their fertilizer in, really controlling every aspect. 90% of the growers out there do not do that stuff. So this whole fertilizer feed schedule is really meant for someone that has an RO system. If you've never seen an RO system, let's go ahead and just pull one up real quick. And as you can see, even the smallest reverse osmosis systems are you're gonna run about $200. Which at the end of the day, in growing, for a lot of growing situations, RO systems are absolutely essential. There's other products that deal with water problems. For example, real quick, is Drops Balance, which is actually a brand new product that hit the market about a year ago, which actually the way they clean water is they add sulfated minerals, and those sulfated minerals rip apart the man-made chemicals and turn them back into sulfated minerals again. Very interesting product. Anyways, let's go ahead and get back over to Fox Farm. So all these things that they're recommending is on the basis that you're using an RO system. Most people are using tap water or well water, and they're starting parts per million nowadays because of major water problems and droughts and just a whole issue they're dealing with in the United States and really all over the world. We're dealing with starting parts per million that could be 500 to 600 parts per million on average. So really, you're already at the starting basis by the time they start. So when you add in the recommended fertilizer just at the big bloom level, it increases your fertilizer possibly all the way up to 700 or 800. So what I actually recommend people to do is to not transplant directly into ocean forest, but actually grab one bag of Happy Frog, one bag of ocean forest. If they don't have Happy Frog, then just get a filler, not like not the soil that's woody, but something that's just it's a soil, it's a plain soil. It might have a little bone meal or something. Doesn't have a fertilizer in it, and you dilute and just cut the ocean forest. And then second, I would recommend when you are feeding your plants in the beginning, definitely pH your water. Definitely want to pH your water and just water your plants with that controlled pH water for a day or two, and allow those root systems to start to get used to the environment that it's currently in. And if you do that with your seedlings and if you do that with your transplants, you're probably going to have a lot more success. And then after the first few days after transplanting, then go ahead and start giving your first nutrients. The big row is biologically alive. The rest of the majority of a lot of the big row, the tiger bloom, and then all the open sesames. Those are all synthetic fertilizers. You have your kelp extract. Yeah, and I'm going to be really quick on what these are generally are. Okay, and then you can kind of decide what which ones they used for. There is a couple nutrients I haven't seen yet, so if I don't haven't seen them, I'm not going to talk about them. They just added them recently to the fertilizer lines. But anyways, the Grow Big is just a basic it was one of the basic biological fertilizers that they started with. It's back guano and it has some enzymes and it's a living fertilizer. The Grow Big and the Tiger Bloom. Grow Big is used as a transition, so it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more nitrogen, so it's going to nitrogen produces green leaves and stems. The Tiger Bloom is meant more for the flowering. It's for flower development. Over the years, they have also developed their Open Sesame, Beastie Blooms, and Cha Ching. Open Sesames are going to initiate the flowers. Beastie Blooms is going to help bring on the yield and transition them to a full flowering state. And the Cha Ching is going to bring out the aroma and the flavoring. All of these, because you're starting with tap water, most likely or well water, you're most likely not starting with RO water. And if you are starting with RO water, then disregard some of the stuff I'm saying. And also besides just pH, you also probably want to invest into a total dissolved solids meter or an EC meter or a P parts per million meter. These meters read the parts per million and give you the range of what they're recommending and allow you to control your settings a little better or your environment of the water. Anyways, if you are starting with tap water, you're going to want to probably cut all of these in half immediately. So first, you water with tap water, or you water with pH water. If after that after you pH your water and give a couple feedings over a week of just water, pH water, then you still keep pH in your water. And if you're using tap or well water, you're probably going to want to cut all this in half. And then give the fertilizer. Remember, you don't want to dump less is more in this situation, and you don't want to dump more fertilizer in there and just lock up everything, meaning that the fertilizers will actually combine together, or they'll be in the wrong pH range, and they won't become available to the plants. So they're just going to sit there, and then one day the plants are going to get who knows? Maybe one day you give a really good watering, maybe the pH of the water changed and made all that salt that's locked up in the soil instantly available or a lot of it available, and then the plants begin to get burned because of all that nutrients that was locked up in the soil and it now just became available. So if you're using tap water, again, start with half the dosages and go from there. The Kinga roots and the microbrew, pretty much if you turn them in the back and look at the balls, they're pretty identical. So you're just going to want to get one or the other. They're both microbiology. The kelp extract helps increase the communication between the microbial life and the microbial life and the communication between the plants and the plants and the microbial life in your soil. So basically, the plants will send off signals to go retrieve the specific minerals, and those minerals are within the fertilizers right here. And the kelp extract helps speed up that communication. So those hormones talking to the microbial life that's in these products that are responsible for going and retrieving the minerals in these bottles right here. That this product will increase the communication. So the hormones that the plants release, the kelp extract is going to make them talk faster between the microbial life and the hormones. So they're going to be like, oh yeah, I need that. Oh yeah, and run out there and quickly grab it. Versus kind of being, oh, you need that? Yeah. Well, it's kind of 3 o'clock. It's almost at the end of the day. Let me get it for you tomorrow. Well, that's kind of how it is when you're not using a kelp extract. But when you are using a kelp extract, oh, it's 5 o'clock. You know what? Not a problem. I'm actually going to work late for you today, and I'm not going to charge you. And that's how it kind of speeds up everything and gives a great customer service. Anyways, I hope this and you just kind of go through the schedule, and it's that easy. And you feed once a week. Less is more. Look for the tip burns at the end of the leaves. If the leaves are crackling, or if the leaves are dried out, put your hands on the plants. And if they don't feel comfortable, if they don't feel like that they're flexible, or they're like a leathery type feeling, and they kind of have some pull to them. They kind of stretch it a little bit, or if they break, just get that general feel of what a regular plant feels like as you go through this process, and you're going to begin to and listen to your intuition. When you put your hands on the plants, the plant, you're going to know, that really shouldn't probably be like that. And then post something out here on one of these YouTube videos, and then we'll respond to it with another video or something like that, and hopefully we can keep progressing and keep learning together. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully I answered your question. Thank you so much, and have a great grow.